Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2002 BMW Z3 M Coupé. Now the Z3 was produced between 1995 and 2002, with this M version introduced in 1997, and it was the highest level of the Z3 in terms of power and performance. And yeah, it was only available with a 5-speed manual transmission, while also featuring a limited slip diff, wider rear track, larger brakes, more aerodynamic wing mirrors, a redesigned front and rear bumpers, revised side grille, and yeah, quad exhaust. So it was a major overhaul in comparison to the standard Z3. And yeah, the big part of that is in terms of the engine, which is quite a beast in terms of size and power. So it's a 3.2 litre inline-6 engine producing 315 horsepower and 251 pounds-feet of torque, which is a hell of a lot of power for, you know, early 2000s, especially when you consider this only weighs 3,170 pounds. Though my only big complaint with this is the styling, especially in this shooting brake style. Granted, it does give you far more space in the rear than you would get in the standard convertible, but quite frankly, if you're going for practicality, then you wouldn't bother with this whatsoever. You go for an M3 or an M5 in terms of, you know, performance vehicles that have an air of practicality to them. This is an out-and-out sports car. It's not supposed to be really practical or have practicality really in mind. It's about power, sporty looks, and yeah, good handling, and yeah, the looks really do not pay dividends with this. So you're really not really you know, getting much back for your money, really, because yeah, at the end of the day, like, cars like this are all really about looks, and yeah, there are far better looking vehicles out there from the same period that are also, you know, sporty two-seaters, and yeah, this really doesn't match them. But yeah, it is really good in terms of performance. It's got 50-50 bang on weight distribution. It's got a sporty interior. You've got all the dials you can ever ask for to know what your engine is or isn't doing, and yeah, it's reasonably well equipped inside as well. I like the dials. Grey with white numbers on there is really rather nice. I would have preferred black on white, which is my favourite colour combination. But yeah, overall a solidly put together vehicle, but the looks somewhat let it down. But in terms of performance, this car is really rather good. But to see how good, we're going to get out there and see what this car can do. So yeah, with that bang on weight distribution and all of that power going to the rear wheels, as well as not really weighing all that much, though again, another downside to this coupe body style is the fact that it does weigh more than the convertible, because obviously a metal roof weighs more than a fabric roof, and yeah, obviously there's more glass, and yeah, just generally more bodywork on the go, so that does let it down a bit. But what doesn't let it down is the performance and this glorious inline-6 engine, which I'll let you listen to for a little bit. So yeah, one thing BMW certainly knew what to do in the 90s and early 2000s is make a great sounding naturally aspirated engine, and yeah, this is a great sounding naturally aspirated engine. I imagine the you know, the lower engines, smaller inline-6 engines and the inline-4 engines don't sound anywhere near as good as this, but that's why this is the top of the class in the model range, because it does sound glorious, does have all of the power, and yeah, it also has all of the handling that you can ask for. Does step out of line a little bit. It's not the easiest of vehicles to drive. There is a fair bit of oversteer at times, so you really do have to watch out for that. It can catch you out, especially if it's wet or icy. So yeah, be on the lookout for oversteer. But in terms of acceleration, this is really good. 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, 0 to 111.3 seconds, and it will go on to a top speed of 169 miles an hour, though I imagine it was limited at the time to 155 like BMWs generally were. So yeah, 4.8 seconds to 60 is Ferrari territory pretty much back in the day, and obviously this was nowhere near as much in terms of cost, though these coupe versions are the rarer versions of the M cars for the Z3. There were a little over 6,000 made of these, whereas there was more than 20,000 I think of the convertibles. So yeah, if you want rarity, then yeah, this is easily the rarest of the Z3s, but also, as far as I'm concerned, the ugliest of the Z3s, just because of that rear bodywork. But yeah, if you're fine with the styling and you don't care that it weighs a little bit more and you're more interested in that additional bit of practicality, then yeah, this is a car for you. But as far as I'm concerned, vehicles like this really shouldn't have any real practicality in mind, certainly not the expensive looks and performance. So yeah, I on the whole would go for the normal convertible, just because of the looks and the lack of weight over this. But yeah, it's still a glorious car in its own right, and yeah, is really rather fun to drive, and certainly outclasses other early 2000 sports cars from the likes of, you know, Honda or Porsche, for instance. So yeah, get out there and try it if you haven't already. It's probably one of BMW's more underrated vehicles on the Forza series, but it is a really good car in its own right outside of the looks. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.